please?
I will. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I'd just like to thank you for this opportunity to come together, Lord, and conduct county business. Lord, I pray that you would give each of us wisdom and discernment as we make decisions based on what's best for the citizens of the county, Lord. And I just pray that you would be with us, guide us and protect us in your name. I pray. Amen.
All right. Approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Anything else we need to put on it that anybody sees? Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Approval of the minutes of our last meeting, which was September 8th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Report of the chair, we'll wait and see what happens. I don't really have a report. Except you should have gotten a copy of the 24. Last week, a couple weeks ago, you got a copy of the 12. This time, you should have gotten a copy of the 24 district map that we will be looking at tonight. So, report of the county mayor, do you have anything?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Then we'll get on to Mr. Robertson and talking about the maps.
Yeah, how about I give y'all just 5 minutes on kind of how this will work?
Okay. Sure, please.
Yeah.
So this is the software from the comptroller's office. We're gonna be moving census blocks, and you hear the term block and you think, oh, it's gonna be a nice square
Yeah.
block, but almost none of them or any of them are. Let me show you. So this is, what is that blue one? Y'all probably know better. It's District 3. So we can zoom in really, really close. We see this block, we click on it. So that's what that block looks like. Here's a small block up here that's 90. We'll grab it. Here's a small block, 14, 21, 5. And then we commit that to whatever district we want to move it to. So that's how the software works. A couple of things I'll show you also. On the left, that's showing the highlighted blocks that we're going to move. And it's showing what it's going to do to those two districts we're impacting. So we're moving them to 1 in this scenario. So 1 would go down by 1 would increase by 440, 3 would go down by 440, and you see how that's going to impact those deviations. It would make 1 -12 and 3 -14. This over here is where every district stands before we make that commitment to move those blocks. So if we hit commit, which I'm not going to do, it would move these stats over here to 1 and 3.
So the red line is where you're moving from, and the blue's the proposed move to? Is that?
Good question. The red line is actually your highest deviation district. You'll notice 4 is at 34.6. Blue is your lowest at -14.8.
Okay.
So when I'm working with counties on this, we're trying to get those around 5 and -5. That gets you to 10, or one could be 9 and one could be -1. So we're working to get those to around 10.
But if you're going to commit to this, that red would go into the green area. Correct?
Oh, yes.
Because it
on
was in
this
the blue
part.
area.
Yes,
Because it
I'm
was in the
sorry.
blue area.
Were you,
I see what you're saying.
Chairman, you may have been talking about the right here, the red and blue. I was talking about the lines on the right.
I got
Yes,
you.
you're
I
right.
got you.
Yes, if we committed that.
No, I was talking about what you were talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I'm by the out and the
So
tape
I'll
recorder?
decommit that. 'Cause we don't-
You don't have lights and sirens on your car?
That's what I just said.
Right over here, it'll
Be
tell us
amazed
if
how
we have
fast you
any
drive without those.
non-contiguous blocks. So I'll show you real quick what that would look like.
He's just showing us how it works, moving stuff around.
Is this with the 12?
Yeah, this is before you.
Let's move, get non-contiguous. Let's move this one to 1. So we move that to 1, and right over here it's telling us, oh, hey, you've got a non-contiguous block, we don't like that. So we'll click on that, and it's gonna take us to that non-contiguous block, and we can move it back, which is what we'll do right now.
Back to 3.
So, this right here is every district and the deviations where they're at. This right here are the highlighted proposed changes we're about to move. It's pretty straightforward. we just gotta start moving blocks around now. Y'all got a lot of deviation in a few districts.
What's
Okay.
that? Go ahead, I'm
This
sorry.
is the current
This is, yes.
12
this is-
districts.
This is how it is right now.
Okay. Now, we had a draft of 12 districts.
Yes. We
Will,
can-
will we also, Wesley, get I know I think last couple weeks ago, we looked at 12 districts, but I believe that maybe one of those districts, there's 3 commissioners in one district,
There could be.
Yeah.
um,
so we would have to
Thinking.
move a line or
There's a
something.
couple
If we
like that.
kept-
We figure that out.
If we can figure that
If
out.
we kept
Foster
it,
got put in
if we
on,
kept
so you can
2
withdraw
per
it, so
district.
shoot it back and forth.
Yes.
and then 12 districts.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'd probably have to move something around. So technically,
24.
you don't have
Oh,
to
he
keep
hasn't shut it.
2 per district. But I will tell you, most counties, when they're going through this, they try not to draw people out of districts.
Right.
But-
Sure, I think that's pretty much our intent, is to
Yeah.
try to avoid that.
Yes.
But you could draw everybody out of.
Well,
a
we've got
district
several
if you wanted
districts
to.
where the commissioners live relatively close to each other,
Yeah.
in different districts, so it does make it more difficult.
But I guess the other part of my question, I apologize, you're gonna give us several different options. This is just, tonight we're looking at,
So I've drawn the 24 and I took a shot at the 12, but
Okay.
I took a shot at the 12 with no regards to what any of y'all thought. Or if it was gonna draw anybody out of a district, I just
Well,
threw
try to
something
equalize it,
together.
right?
And
Yeah,
Wesley, I
just
think
equalizing it.
I think that's a good thing for us to discuss probably first before we start. Like, I think that a minimum, I think we're all in agreement that we want to minimize, we don't want to put, if we can avoid it with good map, if the map's reasonable, we don't want to put like 3 commissioners in the district, 3 current commissioners in a district, but we also don't want to draw,
Right.
crazy lines to avoid.
Doesn't need to look like a puzzle.
Right.
A bad puzzle.
I mean, and given how the census blocks are perfectly square, it should be
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
easy to do.
Yeah. So y'all wanna look at the 12 I drew, or do we?
Yes.
we
Let's
wanna
start with
work
the 12
from
you
this
drew,
one?
I think.
Yes, let's start with
Yeah.
that one.
Is that the one where Mo looks like Texas?
Yeah.
Looks like Texas.
Mo's got the largest district in the Western Hemisphere.
Mo represents some states.
Yeah,
picked up-
that's the Alaska of
He
America.
picked up Hartsville and Springfield and Lafayette.
One thing I'll point out too, so this is,
Sorry.
these red lines right here are the old districts, so that'll give you a little perspective on what got moved.
So we're looking at the color.
Yeah, the color is the new district, the red line is the.
So like
old
District 3 goes up to Cottontown, pretty much.
Is this,
That's the blue one.
yeah, you'll have to forgive me.
Cottontown's the upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
So three's catching a lot of 4.
Yeah, 3 looks like it's, I mean, literally, it's Bethpage, Castellan Springs, all the way up to.
Hey Wesley, is there any way to take the voting precincts
Yeah,
off
the
just
green light, yeah,
temporarily
we get
so
rid of
we can
those.
kind of focus in on the,
So we can
Commission.
take off a lot of this stuff.
Take off the polling places if you can.
We can take that off, roads, streams, power lines, ridge lines, cities, towns. Sometimes that can't clutter it up, but some people want to see that, because that's,
Why don't you keep the roadways?
keep the roads.
I think you get rid of power lines and ridge lines, really.
Power lines, we don't care anything about, we would know that.
Yeah, we just want commissioner houses, roads,
Yeah,
Lakes.
roads, so you can see.
we don't
it.
need a lake.
We don't even need lakes.
Yeah, lakes.
I can see river, well.
Well, it might help you with the landmark.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah, it might
think the
help.
water will help with the landmark.
That takes out the
We got
rivers.
several districts in.
cities, keep those.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
I think we accept that tonight, we're gonna primarily learn how the software package works. And then we're gonna.
Okay, now see, in
What you got?
4 and 11, right there where they're right next to each other, that's where our biggest issue is right now, because 4 is, the part of 4 that is still 4, that's Leslie's house. And the part of 11 that used to be 4 is Jerry Foster's house, who's in District 4.
Actually,
Isn't
I
it?
believe that would be me
Oh, is that backwards?
in Jeremy's district.
Okay, I thought that was the other way around, okay.
So this was in 4.
Yes, that section was in
So
4.
basically, they just pulled both sides of Brinkley
Both, right,
Branch.
yeah, because one
Where
side of
before,
mine
we
is
used to have
already
one
your
side, Jeremy,
district.
we had the left side.
Yeah, So now, across the street.
The old
was
one didn't
10.
make, I mean,
So one side of the street was.
oh, all the way,
Yes.
all the way down to
What's-
Upper Station and Brinkley Branch.
Yeah.
So that block right there.
Jeremy and I had the left side, and Leslie had the right
I have
side.
the right
To
side.
put that back in 4, you've gotta put the one next to it.
Yeah, all,
Because it
of-
has to be
It's
contiguous.
gotta be contiguous,
so
yeah.
all this would go back to 4 then.
Well, that's gonna make 4.
That's gonna make 4 more out of balance. You may have to look at.
And then, yeah,
You'd have to pull from
Can you
my
move-
house or somewhere else.
We
What-
can highlight them all.
Where are the 2 commissioners in 11? Can we pull them? Well, I guess not.
can't put one of them in 4 because they're
No,
too far
Jeremy and I
away.
live too close to each other.
Oh,
Well, again,
yeah.
part of the problem is when
We're
you
almost in
start,
Davidson County. You
Yeah.
won't be pulling us.
I'm
to-
really close.
and when you start trying to keep your 10% margin done, what happens is you have to go all the way up towards the top and start pulling that
I
way.
think you'd
so
have to
it evens
move,
out.
I think you have to move Leslie into 12. I think that'd be the easiest. But it's gonna throw,
So this is what it does to 11 would become, almost -7, and 4 would be okay, it would just be 1.7.
Still within your deviation, right?
Yeah,
Okay, the last one you did, the last block you changed to red, was a small block
right
coming
now.
up right there, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you put that back to 11?
yeah.
Oh, because that could stay in 11.
It could.
I'd say leave as much as you can in 11 to get that deviation back.
And that top block up
If
there
we
would
can.
need to go.
Yeah, that's got to go.
It can go to 12 or 11.
Put it 12.
Put it in 12 and see what it looks like.
Okay. Do y'all wanna move that to, back to 4,
Yeah, I would move,
what we got highlighted?
if you move back and forward, though,
I
that's
would,
really.
Yeah.
And then
Wesley, I
do-
apologize, where's our deviation on that one, so I know where to look?
Right
Oh,
here
here.
on the sides.
It's
But I
within
mean, it can't add up to, it can't be more than 10 total, right?
That's, yes, that's.
so like
what-
right now, we'd
Each
be at
district.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
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 But the problem, I think if you leave 4 high, that's where your growth area
Mm-hmm.
is. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get way out of whack the next one again. So it'd be
Yeah.
better to get them
Well, if you
somewhere
move it to-
We
equalized.
can move this to 12, I guess.
That's true.
I mean, honestly, it
That-
wouldn't,
You know, that's our district.
it would
that's
kind of
where-
make sense, some of that would make sense in 12. I mean,
Yeah.
Caps Gap is really.
That right there might make sense in 12.
Caps Gap is my family's glad. No, I'm just kidding.
Trust me, I grew up fairly close to the gap.
Yeah, what would it do if you put it in 12? Wesley?
That little block.
Just that whole thing you had, but that throw it way out of.
Oh, to put all that?
What does that do now for your deviations?
7.61.
6,
4 is still too big.
I think 4 is still,
Well, and,
considering it's growing.
and also 11 goes up by 7.6%, so you're pretty much done with all your deviation right there alone, because you can't have 10, more than 10 total.
Well, you have to catch, you could catch some
Yeah, but it's-
4 back into 11.
If you push some in, then you wouldn't be negative in, well, 11, but you could,
Is there a running total for the deviation anywhere, like, Wesley, that we can see, or just,
No, on that one, we just kinda have to.
just add them all up?
Yeah.
So
Can
like
you
the red
expand,
and the
can
blue.
you expand that a little bit?
Oh, you won't be able to see the map as well.
Kind of see what's happened to 12 and 11 there.
A little more. Seven has got a little it could give to 11.
Let's say, what if you grab a little 7 by 4 corner?
Like right in there. Let's see. It's on 49, yeah.
Problem is, it's not the populous area.
Don't grab that.
Don't grab any of the city
Yeah,
limits
don't-
of Hendersonville, though. Try to not.
That was, yeah, there you
So here, so that would be going to 11.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
11.
It's making that turkey neck a little longer.
So that's brought 11 down to
Turkey
negative,
leg.
or,
Oh my gosh.
It's a turkey neck.
Yeah, that'll make that kind of fit contiguous.
so that makes 11 negative 4.8, 7 is negative 2.
Bingo. We both worked on, that was the first of both of them, doesn't it?
And that's still Shackle Island, so that's.
We still got 11 at negative 7.6.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so, Chris, on the left is
So that
what's
brings
pending.
that brings
Okay.
that deviation down. a little.
Now, would it be better?
Yeah, I was
to
just doing it in my head, it was horrible.
Would it be better
On
to
that
move
side.
move your cursor to the right, to the green, where it turns green? from 11
You
degrees.
can't lose the turkey
Oh,
head.
right, okay, north of that area. Would it be better, instead of that
Right
one
here.
block over there on the right, would
This
it be
one?
better to do that one?
Well, that's a
Like
lot.
that one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but then you're splitting up Minster Farms.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
That's not Messer's Farm.
Is it
That's-
not?
No, Messer's Farm is way in 10. That's across from.
Oh, I'm sorry, because that's Bryant's, never mind, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
across
sorry.
from Walhalla Baptist.
Yeah, my bad.
Tower
Tower
Hill.
Hill.
That's like
Hill.
a tower, but we're splitting Tower
Yeah,
Hill.
it's gotta be Tower Hill. I would
I don't know
try
that
not
I'd
to
split
split a
Tower Hill.
neighborhood if we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to.
I think that makes for wonky, weird
I
thing when you
agree.
split a neighborhood.
Yeah, it does.
Makes it confusing.
Hey Wesley, can you go out again and look at the whole county? Kind of give you a perspective of what.
The way we are right now, is everything have two commissioners in the district?
Correct.
And we fixed that, because I was the only one that
We
was wrong.
fixed that. You're across the street from 11 now.
I mean, it's just that.
Oh, did
Yeah.
we fix you? Were you
I
the
don't
only
know.
one? Okay.
She's across the street
You
from
fixed
11
me.
instead of Midland.
Okay. So
So
that was, up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you fixed it.
Perfect.
If you add those in.
But 4 is still too big, right?
Four is,
Yeah.
it's borderline too big, yeah, or
Considering
11's
it's growing,
11's
it's
too low.
probably still too big.
What is? 11's too low?
Or 4 is too big, so we
Can
have to be at 10.
17
Okay.
It doesn't have to
What
be
about
7.
moving
7
that-
takes some of 4 and 11 takes some of 7.
Well, I was thinking that northern end of 4 that's up there by 12 could go to 12.
What if you
Yeah.
cut part
catch
of
some of the White House.
the southern end down where Gallatin is,
Yeah, you can.
Wesley?
Yeah,
Okay.
come back, go somewhere else.
Yeah, on the left.
Mhm.
I mean, look at that area and see what that looks like, and see what that would.
You talking about over here?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
And
Is 7 too low right
In
now?
other words, if you could, what's
No.
5? If you could take and redistribute between 5 and 3, then that would almost make Gallatin its own district. You know what I'm saying? Gallatin's got a pretty good population.
Well, Gallatin right now looks like it's in 4 commission districts.
Well, 3, could you not
Well,
take
it's
that little
in-
piece on the top of
It's
4?
in
Right
1,
here?
2, 3.
And put that to 3, since 3
4.
is
Yeah,
so low?
Yeah,
it's in 4 commission
the 7
districts.
or?
No, that little piece that sticks up.
yeah,
there.
the city,
Yeah.
inside the city,
Yeah.
old city.
And give that to 3?
Well,
Well, you'd have to give it combination 3 and 5. You'd have to take it, give it to 5, and then give part of
See what
5
we
to
got.
3.
It's probably some crazy, look at that
Oh.
census block.
wow.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
How are those determined? By roads? Rivers,
No.
creeks?
Yeah,
That's almost perfectly square.
theoretically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was going by just the little
And does it also
piece
happen
of, I
with
felt like
how
that was a
many
little
people
square,
actually
but-
Census block drawer had a few copies.
submitted for the census, and if they didn't, then there's some little gaps in there too.
Yeah, and I think, do y'all have a GIS department here?
No.
The 911 person has somebody that does it.
Okay, I know the state, like you all can ask the state comptroller's office to fix a census block, but you would ask them now and they would work on getting it fixed for the next census.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do any good now.
Um,
And I don't plan to be doing this in 10 years.
Usually, like if y'all had a GIS department, they would work with the state on getting stuff cleaned
Yeah.
up.
Chop those census blocks off and see what it would do. See if you can just chop it out of 4. Just see what it would do.
Then you've got to do more out of 4 too. The ones, all that other stuff's going to go too.
All that
Right here.
stuff around it, yeah.
Yeah.
And just see what it would do. It's not gonna hurt anything.
Sorry, Danny, I'm like right in front of you.
So that, that's gonna make 11, what do
No,
we
no.
say?
Well, I don't- or that would go to 3.
3.
3 is almost right on the money, 4 is just 1%, so 4 could probably lose a little more if y'all want.
Yeah, tax some more out.
That kind of just solves your problem.
Yeah, I think so.
It does.
Like right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, there's a 0.
What neighborhood are we splitting here? Is that?
It's about Union,
Yeah, it
by
is.
Union, Top
okay,
Hall.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wall
they're-
Street.
They're both
Steve,
almost
I
0
guess
right there.
What is that street that the number 4 is on? I can't. Street, that's good, North-South Street, that number 4 is
Law
on.
Street.
Is that Dorothy Jordan, Bly Street?
Would I grab these?
Yeah, just try to cut the whole thing off and see what you can do, see how out of whack it
Just
makes
leave that
it.
one right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Just, can you carve out, Top Hog and leave that in my district?
So
I
we'll
go eat there when I can be.
So between next to 5, you can cut some of that out, and put it in 5.
put this in 5.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this, like, we're at 2.8 and -2 on 3 and 4. Any more of this to go to 3?
I would try to put some in 4, some of 4 and 5 and 3 would make more sense.
I'll save that for 5, if that's, which, let's see, it's 5
Yeah, 'cause
over,
that's fine for city.
well, 5's.
Yeah, it is.
5 needs to be entire, I mean, 5 probably is entirely the city limits.
Well, he can't because he's got to put some in 3, that'd make you over.
So that's got us at 3.3 and -2.4.
If that goes to 3,
Just tell me. I
Yeah.
can finish.
That's pretty, I mean, we're still in a good spot there. Now, 5 is
that splits up
already,
the north side in half.
it's already at
basically.
4.2, so
Which is?
5, so it can't really take a whole lot.
But what I'm saying is, listen to this logic, if you get the map larger, you know,
So we
break it
see the
down
city
where you
limits.
see, where you can see, those districts. So make it more of a county map.
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, shrink it down when you see more of the county. So think about this, if you took the east side of 5, some
Oh,
of
well,
5.
You're talking about where Danny lives, or talking about the airport?
Well, I don't know how far you can go.
Because Danny and I both live on the east side of 5.
I'm saying if you could take some of this out and put some of this back in 5, put that in 3, that makes more sense because it gives you the
The city of
central part of it.
Right, but part of that's, I think that may be the airport,
Yeah, I don't know.
Which-
That's what I'm saying.
that may be the airport, the industrial, at the airport there, part of that,
Yeah.
It may be.
We
which
could,
would have no people.
Or you could get the tail end a little bit.
That is kind of weird how it kind of,
Yeah.
like this little piece
Right.
right here, just kind of stuck
Yeah.
down in there.
So you
You
could
have
put that,
3 districts,
you could
like
put that in
literally
That's
right
the
3
old, that's the
Commission
old
when they
city
did
council,
this with
city,
that.
city just,
and add,
Zones.
maybe add that block
Okay,
into
I missed
5.
it
You see what I'm
I
saying?
was
I
just
don't
asking,
know.
I can't imagine trying to
do
do
y'all
this with.
put that in-
I'm driving.
How
Y'all
horrible.
y'all tell me, I don't
Just
hear
try.
one way or
now
the
put that
other.
in 3.
Put this
They
in
just
3?
winged it.
You want that in 3?
I believe
You
it.
don't want,
Yeah.
you don't
Well,
want it
that's
in
how you
5?
got people written out.
No, it's not next to 5.
Nobody knew
We
what was
have
going
to-
on until the
I'm
last
saying
minute.
though, you can chop all that out and
That
put
makes
it in
sense.
5.
What does that do to, I can't read those numbers, what does it do to 3 and 4?
Putting West Powell Street, we're at
Your district.
11.8 total
I'm just trying to
deviation.
get you kind of in the city.
My math is.
Okay.
ballpark.
We're gonna just have, I think we can go back on 11 and grab some of White House, because look at 12, it's only 2.42. I think it makes sense to grab, I mean, you can grab, 12 is 2.42 over, if we grab some of that and put it into 11, we can get that down to about 5.
Yeah, go
But
back
does that split White House then?
countywide if you can.
No.
Y'all have
we're in
fun.
We have Millersville, Goodlettsville.
You just go a little bit, you don't really hit White, I mean.
No, it doesn't go all the way to White House.
Honestly, the
See,
Sumner
you're
County,
re- Yeah, you're really grabbing right there, Millersville.
That little bit, okay.
the Sumner County part of White House is more out towards Cottontown, really.
Yeah.
It is.
So we are staying in here.
Now go to the left,
Right above Millersville. that
right
area,
above
anywhere,
Millersville there.
Ready to
Like, look right in there,
Okay.
Or
I don't know how many happen.
either to the right or the left, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
Because we don't want to split up Millersville, it's not that big. If we can keep all of Millersville in one district, that's
So
probably
is that Millersville?
No, that's up the ridge, but it's not,
Millersville proper is in District 11 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Up
this
30.
is all Millersville, but if you come, I mean,
Well,
this
these-
isn't
these-
really part of.
That is the city limits though.
Yeah, these.
It
black
is,
lines
but what
are-
I'm telling you is like,
Yeah.
There's not many people.
I think you could grab these parts outside the city limits at least, and that gives you 300,
Put it in 11.
about 300 people. Put it in 11.
Here. Here.
Grab this 173 and that 150.
And then if you get that little tail end up there, you got the city
Get
limits.
this 21.9.
So are these, is this Millersville
No.
city limits or White House?
No, that's White House.
That's White House.
So that makes, 3 negative,
I would just go ahead and
11.
grab that 10 there. Just keep it all even. Yeah.
So 11's negative 3.5, 12's negative 1, so that's pretty good.
Go ahead and put that in there and see what it looks like.
That fixes it.
Jeremy, are you good with that?
What is all to the right? What is that for the deviation? I mean, I'm just curious, like, it's
Like
that it's.
1 or 2.
It drops us down to negative 3.56, takes 12 down to negative 1.64 where they were plus 2 before.
So we're within now, we're at,
Yeah, we should be right there.
That
Numbers
I feel like
go
we
to
should be
Jackson
getting
Grove,
close.
it's
Right,
fine.
but it's
yeah,
pretty close to Millersville.
so we're at,
Chris,
You're-
you run that map?
seven
You wanna
point
run that map?
seven,
I've already done it twice. I can't.
Countywide,
Those numbers
7.8?
changing too fast for me.
Can you go back countywide again? Let's take the county. Okay, that puts all the commissioners back in their current districts.
And what is 4 up there? What's the deviation
Negative 2.48,
Negative.
is that right?
Yeah.
Is everybody between below 5 or above point,
Yeah, 2.
negative 5?
Yeah, you're good right now, everywhere.
So the countywide, it should be 10, right? No more than 10?
We're a total deviation of 7.76.
So our biggest growth was 4, so that gives 4 room to grow over the next 10 years. What was our second one where growth was?
7.
7.
Or 6?
7, I think.
6.
7 is where? 0.75?
Yeah.
It's right at 0, yeah. and
What about 6?
6 is.
6 is 4.07.
Mm.
6 would be the only one.
I just hate that 3 has to go all the way over to Cottontown.
Yeah.
Three is
all right.
gonna be-
That's a lot, that's a big district.
It is a big district.
What about the?
Alan and Steve go literally to Hartsville to Cottontown.
Hartsville, Cottontown.
Hey, I had a big, hey, 4 was big last time, so,
What about the little?
and there's no
It's gonna take them
neighborhoods.
6 months to knock on doors.
When Anthony and I ran in 1990, it went from the river up to Portland.
It
The
did.
district went from the river up to Portland, all the way around the sea, limits to Gallup,
Yeah.
both sides.
Is there a way that we could possibly make 6 have a little bit more growth room? Can we zoom out and see where it's at, like we did 4, kinda gave it, since it was one of
Yeah, we
the
probably get part of it in the
higher
5.
growing, cause we don't wanna, in 3 years be that.
Pretty close.
Well,
So 5.
actually 6 is on the,
Well, I
there's
mean,
probably
10
not a lot of growing.
10 years, we don't really know what's gonna happen again. and-
Yeah, I know, I just would like to have a little bit of growing room, but
So
I feel
this
like.
was all the growth over the last 10 years?
No, that's part of the growth over the last 10 years.
No, it didn't grow as much as
The 4,
Yeah, I don't
Four
think-
is where the growth.
4's where most of
Yeah.
the growth was.
Now that I see where 6 is, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of growth room left right there.
There's only a couple of farms still down there
How
that,
many in 3?
3?
According to what's been
You cut
approved.
that out.
Gallup.
What about moving some down, of 7 down to 8?
Is where the growth
And
is
then you
gonna
took
happen.
that little.
Or Gallatin.
That's
Gallatin's city council
That's
district
3.
And 3 is
No.
Three.
oh, R3.
3.36
Yeah,
right
I
now.
see it. The growth's got to go to the
It's city
east.
limits is probably.
Because we're running out of places to go far.
I'm talking about what's been approved already.
Right,
But 3's getting ready to explode.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So we might wanna pull
I've been
3
saying
down
for
just
years
a little
the
bit,
growth is gonna be towards the east.
to give us a little bit of growth
I
room.
don't see what the numbers are, but I. know
3.36
from
for-
what I
Saying
see
this.
Yeah, just try it. Just try that. Yeah,
All
no.
the way up there.
Yeah, we can move 3 down maybe a little
Use
bit.
that to 3. Just try it.
Maybe that right there.
I don't care.
Right on.
That's fine. Now, go up to the top,
That's not a very populated area though.
go up there, if that little part of 6 is sticking out into 5, and put that back into 5. See it?
Oh, right
Over there.
here, right here?
Right there,
Okay.
and that ought to equalize. And then it won't be so running down. and-
Okay, Anthony, what are you giving me and Danny?
Well, I'm trying to do what Leslie said, give 6 a little bit more room to grow.
Well, 3 needs room to grow too, they said, that with
Well,
what's
I
been
know, but
approved.
I gave some to 3.
Oh, okay.
You know, at the bottom I showed him. That's just
Right
try,
there.
see what it looks
Yeah, what does
like.
that do to the numbers?
Wish we could say that for drafts.
We're at,
Which
See,
I-
that gets it closer.
We're gonna have one we really like, and then we'll
9.6.
change it.
We're still all right.
Not report.
What's the, what is that street?
See what I did?
I'm trying to see this.
3 looks really high though.
It is.
which one?
3 is.
I'm trying to see where that
And if
is.
she's saying
But
that's
it's
where
a
all the
six,
growth is.
6.3, you still stay under your,
Oh, that's Greenway Apartments, that's Hancock Street.
Yeah, but we think 3's gonna catch a lot of the growth.
Well, there's an apartment complex here, otherwise there's nobody else living here in that one.
Let's look at 3.
yeah. You
Because
can
down
And
give,
there's the high school, there's not a lot of population in that area.
you could probably give a little of 3 out in the country to 2, or maybe even 1.
So
Mo wants some more.
Where does Mo live?
Yeah,
We'll
Mo
put his
needs
house
some
in
more,
Mo's.
give it.
Maine's neat.
Most houses
Maine's
well in
good.
his district, he's good.
I just need gas money.
You got to raise $10,000
Gas
and knock
money.
on doors.
And a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come over here so I can see.
That not kidding, you go up a driveway and it's a mile long.
Oh,
And you gotta go back down and go up to the next
That's what you worry
driveway,
about,
it's a
keep
mile
going.
Yep.
long.
I had a friend help me door knock that lived in a neighborhood, and she was like, "Where's the neighborhood?" I was like, "There is one neighborhood in
You go
this
out for-
district, and that's
You go
it."
knock on doors for 10 hours and
Yeah,
then 10 houses.
yep.
Make 12 people.
Yeah.
Or you can go door knocking and get bit by a horse.
Or a dog.
No, you weren't doing it. You were fixing my son.
Oh yeah, I was fixing your
Yeah,
sign.
yeah, and that one. And then I'll solve your problem.
That's a better road. Close enough.
That one's a block, yeah.
That's smart, though, that's a good.
Worst thing you
Because
can do.
one is at
Look at there,
Yeah.
now your numbers are,
Dog.
negative
Or better.
0.37,
That's a good.
3 is at 4.98.
you're all under 5.
Now, is this one right on the line?
Oh,
Who is
He's
that?
on the line.
That's,
Were they
yeah,
good?
Alan.
Alan's right here.
He's in this district.
He's across this, well, he was across the street
Yeah.
from
He's
District
in-
2 and
he's
anyway.
District 3, so he's right in his district.
He's always.
I'm on the north side, he's on the south side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan was across the street from District 2
It
anyway.
looks like everybody stays in their district that way.
Mount Vernon Road, that's where that is. In the big metropolis of Bethpage.
And that doesn't look so wonky, it's not running everywhere.
It does look wonky because one is like half the map.
Well, you can't do anything about that.
I know.
You just don't have the
And
population.
3 is, 1 and 3 is over a half the map.
It's all right, it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Shrink it down, let's look at the whole county again.
It's based on population, that's all it is.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
similar to what it was before, actually, it's not.
I mean, that,
With the exception of 4, I lost all that.
Is
That
any of the boundaries on 2 changed?
yeah,
Two.
Not much.
not much.
Not much since this one was done. We haven't changed anything on 2 yet, tonight.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like much change.
It looks like that's where they was.
Okay, so Billy is the one on the right, is that correct? In the
Yes.
curve?
Yes.
And you're the one that's going down,
Yeah, I'm
north
straight,
end of town.
straight in the middle, that's right.
Larry's a city slicker.
I'm between 2 cities, Mitchell and Portland.
What?
Same town.
Does,
Nine,
my
ten,
district
and
go
we'll
across
change it
109
up.
now?
7, 8, 9.
Probably.
Can we?
I think
I feel like.
So,
I know.
I'm assuming this
That's
is
what I
all,
said.
is this all 7 down here?
Yeah, that's.
The yellow line?
Those,
Well, it's just hard. It's
Wesley,
like
probably
that.
didn't change a whole lot because it's just not, they're real stable. There's not a whole lot.
Those
of
are old,
Careful.
those are old
Get where you
communities,
change
old
it.
neighborhoods, so
It's like
those
change
are changing.
This old red line
It's like
though, is
playing
that old?
Play-Doh.
I don't know.
Yes.
When you
Probably
get,
is
when you
7.
get
So 7.
numbers right, everybody's in their home
Yeah.
district.
10.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
7 had to lose some area,
Yeah.
and 4 had to lose a lot of area.
Can you zoom out just a little bit, Wesley? Are 12 and 3 touching each other? Yes.
Yep.
It would make more sense, since 3 is still our highest, to pull some of that into 12, because 12 is negative 1.64 and 3 is
Yeah, you can do that.
4.96, to
What-
kind of give
yeah.
us a little bit more.
What does that one right
growth
there
room
look like? 203,
in that-
whatever it is.
If we can pull some of that over into 12, that would kind of make those a
Yeah.
little more.
Is that
even.
one voting block right there, or
Yeah.
one
That's one census block.
census block?
So we could grab some more here.
Yeah, I say grab some more and give a little bit of growing room to 3.
That moves them away from Cotton Town a little bit.
Right in there.
Yeah, maybe, what's that do to them?
So here's our, it makes 12, 1.1 and 3, 2.2.
That works.
I think that works.
Yeah, that's good, Leslie.
I think that might give us a little more growing room to 3.
Can I ask what that red line is?
That's the old, that's the
And the
current,
green up here.
it's a current commission district.
Old district.
Old district, I guess.
Does it go across, is that 109 the black?
Yes.
So it does cross the 109.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Trying to get that to 12.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Did that get it? That's pretty.
You get people some moving
I
out.
feel like that's
you
pretty
get some people
close.
moving
That's
out to
pretty dang
Westmoreland,
close
huh?
right there.
Jeremy, do you see anything?
Can you put that back to 12 on
This,
the other side of 109?
like all that right there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of territory. I don't know what number it does population wise.
Mike could take it, let's see,
Try.
1 to 12.
You might could give it to 3. What's 3?
Yeah.
Three's getting everything.
That's the same thing they were before.
Need some more geography.
Well,
Well, that would not help with growing on 3.
So that right there,
And the one below it too.
that would make 12, 3 point, in the 84.
Yeah.
So that's 4.3 and negative 3.5. Y'all want to commit that?
I don't know.
Well, does that get 109 as your boundary?
Or do you want this one?
No, there's still stuff.
Yeah, there's.
There's a couple of little, yeah, there's a few more little ones there, up there. The real skinny ones, yeah, 22, those are.
Oh, that would be terrible if we left that little piece.
That's 109 right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The red is though. That's your district.
Is that good, Mo?
that's good.
Is that 109? Is the boundary now, right?
That's good.
That's
That's a
good.
good boundary.
That's a good boundary line.
Makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Well, you need it.
Now where are we?
You think you need to take 12 out a little bit and put it in some other,
Put it back somewhere in 11.
let's
Or put it
see.
back in 3?
We've got it.
Well, maybe, yeah,
Let me fix this.
11 would work.
Well, 12 is the,
11
Lowest?
would work because that would, it's almost 4% under.
Fix this one, we had a non-contiguous one here that popped up.
Have you ever looked at the Gallatin city limits? There's a lot of non-contiguous city limits in
So
Gallatin.
if you,
Yeah, there
so
is.
would you like start coming in these blocks right there, or
All these people
we needed to take some
just
12?
farmers
sorry,
might,
I couldn't see.
the city limits.
So we're moving some,
There is a lot of
12 to 11?
Yeah, if you would take some of that,
Yeah.
I don't know what these census blocks is like right in there.
12 to 11.
Alan's gonna wish he was here because we've redone his district entirely.
What does that do?
Let's see what we got in each end. So that makes 11 negative 2.3 and 12 is 3.4.
That
Brings it
pretty
more in
closer.
alignment.
Since you moved 1 over to 12, and you can move 12 into 1 and 11.
Let's see what.
That gives you your offset balance for the other
It's a
side.
little wonky.
Yeah, because then you pull over, yeah.
Just that right there.
I feel like that's a good line every time.
It balances out more from, yep, can you hear me? That gives you a little bit more balance on the
In
left and
our-
right.
3.89, negative 3.89 to 3.26, I feel like that's
That's
pretty,
better.
yeah.
There's your buffer for 109.
Does that help it? Yeah.
That helps.
I feel like it.
I was about to say, what about this block? But we gotta have that one in there.
Yeah, because that's where she lives.
Yeah,
It's a
I have
big
to stay there unfortunately.
That's a very big block.
It is, they got me.
That's just
I understand.
Unless I move across the street.
Hey, what's that little can with a turkey head?
Right there.
What is it?
You got a turkey head and an upside down boot.
Yeah, put that in the 4 back to the 4 and see what happens. We moved a bunch of stuff around since we moved that
Yeah,
back.
that is a weird little.
Yeah, I'd put that, you got enough space now because you're down almost 3%. 2.5.
Clean that up.
That goes to
Put it back in forward where it came from.
Yeah.
Is that Sandy Valley? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was before. That's
Yeah, that works.
That's
Yeah,
back-
well, we moved it earlier and no, we
That's
moved
back
back.
to,
I think that's on the other side of the street on Sandy Valley, so I would keep,
that one.
yeah, I'd keep that there, because that way we have one side of the
it's
street
split.
and they have.
And
the
that's
other
back to
side.
your old lines. One, it
Yeah.
was Sandy Valley split.
Yeah, that was the way it was before.
That looks
Yeah.
good.
I think that looks good.
Keeps your turkey head in place.
Hey, that's about as good as you're gonna get that.
I think it's pretty good. Put your upside Italy boot and you got
If I could go to Italy and.
Yeah,
visit,
those
that'd be
census
great.
blocks a little weird. Can you open it back out again? Thank you. Can you zoom in on 5? Just kind of want to see where 5 is. That's my district.
You know, I like that because most of the city proper is in that district now.
Yeah, it's pretty much always been entirely the city. Okay. This comes over to the city. Trina.
I say if we're gonna discuss the 24, we may need to move that, because we can move.
This
the
is Hill,
flags
okay.
For hours,
Oh, yeah.
you think?
You can wake up here in the morning.
Well, I
This is
don't want
Nichols
to.
Lane. Okay. So this area we put in up here is Hancock Street. So if you can zoom a little bit, this is Rucker Stewart School, and, yeah, this is Rucker Stewart.
That's a high school, so these census blocks have zero population, yeah. That's, Record Stewart, that's the high school, they have zero population. These are apartments, there's 226 there, there's a small number there, nobody there.
You good, Baker?
So, yeah, I mean, it's really, it's only moved from, basically, this area right here is what it picked up.
Yeah.
Which is not that many people, there's one apartment complex, and a few other, and that's about it. The rest are zero, have zero population. Most of those have zero population.
Are we good with, the
Go back
12
to the
districts?
east side if you can.
Great.
Somebody called Alan Driver and tell him we sent him all the way down to Henderson.
Yeah, that little,
Oh, what's
that little
that?
one needs to be up there.
Oh, yeah, is that
There's
not?
3 people living there or something.
I bet that's a crazy block.
Oh, yeah, that is
What's that blue block doing?
Wonder why that didn't flag you as oh, that's why.
I believe I'd leave.
Make
Leave
it
on
bigger,
leave that.
so we can see where that goes.
You
Okay.
could pull that in, it makes it 1 and 1.
Well, there's nobody here.
But then you
That's
got
the-
nine. That little block right there, that's not contiguous.
That little knife-shaped thing, that's got zero population.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, 0.
Okay.
Put that in 5.
How was that due to 5?
Makes it 3.8.
And 3,
Is 1.2.
Call Driver and asked him if he'd mind covering part of White House.
oh, that goes over to Holloman, so that goes out into the county a little
They
bit.
might as well take part of Cottontown too.
That's all right.
Yeah, that goes out into the county a little bit. It's-
You are a county commissioner.
I understand. But if we put that back in the county, could we, are there a couple of them up here that we could
Gotta
do?
represent the county a little bit.
These are 0, so you
Right,
can
I'm
put
just
all
saying,
that in 3.
if you put this into
Every
3,
county, you're all city.
Yeah,
You're
you
all
can do
city.
that.
okay, put that into
All
3.
cities.
And Mr. Hyde and Shelley.
Only the.
Oh, yeah,
Cleveland
there's-
County.
gosh, yeah. They're all,
So if we
We got a little bit of
took,
And put that, yeah, put,
if there's any, yeah, I don't, especially now.
I used to have a little piece of gallery. I
What-
don't know if I do
yeah.
anymore after all this is over with.
put those
I
into
don't
3.
think I do. I think I'm,
Put it on 3.
probably all,
Incorporated.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm probably
Put
one of
those
the
in
few that has
3.
0 city.
Okay, now some of that's the
Not the
city
only
limits,
one.
but it's got no population. What about this one down here?
Listen,
That
we
would
don't
stay
need
in
to-
the
we're gonna
city?
do 21
I'm not even sure what that road is. so that's-
Hey, Baker,
Yeah,
if we want to look at any of the others, we probably need to get rolling.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
Yeah, if we're gonna look at the other
Okay,
options,
yeah.
just cause I feel like we could tweak
Okay.
this till the sun comes up.
yeah.
Can you save this?
so I could, yeah, take this and put it in those PDF maps where you can
Okay.
see each district.
Okay.
Y'all could study it, and if you like wanna clean it up to
Okay.
lines, then I could do that.
You're pretty
Leslie, when
close.
you do that, will it have the street, will you keep it as clean as possible and leave as many streets just so we can figure out landmarks?
Yeah.
That we can.
Let me show y'all one and you tell me if you.
Yeah, when he does the single district on its own page, it's
a little
pretty easy.
Oh,
to
yeah.
see.
Is
Yeah.
that
That looks
good enough? I
perfect.
mean,
Yeah.
you might
Yes.
have to zoom in.
Yeah.
As long as you can zoom in like
Yeah, as
that.
long as you can zoom in,
It's
we're good.
pretty-
It's real distinct
Yes,
though,
it's
there's
so
no doubt.
distorted when you try to,
One from 2 weeks ago.
yes.
So,
And one didn't have any roads
is there
on it.
anything on there you wouldn't want, a feature, or is
Mm-mm.
that clean enough?
I think that's clean.
I think it's
I
clean.
feel like that's good.
I don't know if District 1 looks like Texas, but it kind of looks like Alabama.
Yeah, so I'll
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
I'll get it to you tomorrow sometime.
Now, and then at that point, this will go out, the 12 district will go out to all the commissioners to review and look at.
I think
I
so.
think
Well,
so.
if you send it to me and Scott, and then one of us can send it out.
Yeah.
Scott does a better job of sending out than I do for some reason.
Does that work for everybody? Like, we'll get this back and I'll send it out to everybody?
All right, let's try the other one.
Let's look at the 24.
What that looks like.
So, did we, what is this?
Oh,
That's
we're
what
gonna,
you
we're
were
gonna put that back
change.
into 3,
Into 5?
3,
So where is it now?
that can go back into 3.
You want it in 3? It was in 3.
That's the one you changed, Baker.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in like that little flag on it.
That flag doesn't have anybody in it, I don't think.
Well,
it
that
does.
flag goes over to that
It's-
other.
No.
It's 150, it's a crazy block, yeah.
Let's just deal with
Yeah, it's
that
a
later.
weird
Oh, it's a
block.
little bitty, that's one of those things like Mr.
See,
Hyde was
remember
talking
you
about.
said
on
you
the
wanted it
peninsula.
in?
Yeah,
Take it out,
yeah.
Long line.
I'm just thinking, you know, if the city, if they can't keep the city limits line, if you can.
Yeah, but they can't.
Well, we can't.
keeps changing.
Well, that line isn't, because those folks don't wanna be in the city.
Good point.
Like.
It's impossible.
So what do you wanna do?
Well, yeah, go, put that back in 5.
And then these
That-
zeros.
Yeah, I'll put those back in 5 because those are all zeros.
Looks good.
There we go. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Nail it.
I'll send you all that.
What'd you say?
Nail it.
I also sent a big
That's
one
when you
like
kind
that.
of know you're gonna
Y'all
get
want
that.
that?
Somebody can nail that.
We want a big, a map like this of that.
Just
Are you
wait,
using-
send it out to districts, and let them look at it.
I hate to
Yeah,
say if
and
you
then-
print something up like that, Wesley. if you
Yeah,
don't
it's just,
look at
I
it.
could print,
waste of money.
Yeah.
let's see that PDF.
I think that's perfect.
Those individual ones go out that way anyway, so.
Tell you what I can't do real quick.
We got printers in the building. Tax assessor's office.
It's today.
The 22nd.
Draft 1.278.
So we wanna look at 24 now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
I know we jammed on.
Okay. Anything,
I think,
Okay,
in particular?
the issue with the 24 districts is that we have 2 commissioners in District 1 and 2 commissioners in,
it's me, Caroline, and then Mo and Terry.
yeah, another district.
Mine and Caroline, you're not gonna be able to resolve. We're
You
too,
probably could resolve one, couldn't you?
you can't resolve Caroline and me, because if, to move me, you'd put me, Jeremy and I would be back, you gotta either put me in one or the other, there's no place,
Where's
the
that?
population's
Down
too
in here?
dense.
What district, which district?
We got 12 districts without fund, I don't know what you wanna do to us.
Is that what you're talking about right there?
I'm just saying, like, where I live, there's no, you either gotta put me in one or the other, like, you can't, there's not enough people to put me in.
Scott, that's Carolina.
Yeah,
Well, Scott's not in Caroline's district.
yeah, I am.
No,
Look at
on
the
this
color.
map it is.
On this map, he
If
doesn't
you,
look
what
like
they're
it.
saying, Baker, if you had.
Okay, gotcha, I'm sorry, yes, you are.
I'm
Never
just
mind.
saying, like,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying, I've looked at that, there's no way you can resolve that one.
So which districts
don't
do we
worry.
have with nobody in it, with no commissioner in it?
The lucky ones.
There's
There's
none.
2.
That's
I think
the
there's,
2.
I think there's 2.
Either?
Mm-hmm.
We have to have 2 with no district, with no commissioner.
Well, we have 2 that have 2.
The one up there next to the first, I noticed there wasn't one.
Up next to one?
Up next to one.
Yeah, let's go look at that one and we can come back to this one.
See what you can do up at the top, because that's,
Seems goofy to me.
Let's see.
Oh, weird.
3, 2, 1. Is 5 have one?
Maybe not, that's what I was noticing.
5 has 1, it looks like, that's probably Allen.
Mm-hmm.
7 has
Got
1.
Who does not have one? 8's got
6 has 1. Oh, yeah, 8's got 1.
What
No
about
way to do that.
13?
Nope, doesn't look like it,
13 does not have.
but it's not close to anybody else.
Are Jerry and I separate? Because we live fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
it's really, it's like, just,
Oh, yeah.
it's because I thought, like, I think what catches is like, me and Caroline and then Mo and Terry, we're caught on the opposite ends of the county, and it's the opposite problem, there's not,
Big
there's
push.
less population where here, there's too much population where, not too much, but there's more.
So 13
It's 13 and 9, it looks like. Don't have-
has nobody, no commissioners in it. That's, looks like north side of Gallatin, is that what that is?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, these are some pretty
That's a pretty
densely
simple-
populated.
Yeah, that's just a populated area.
I like the fact that, it drops the number of people to 8,000, so it's,
And we
and it makes the
represent.
district small, so you don't have like Texas up in the.
Yeah,
Y'all
that
could-
would be an advantage, whoever, like Mo's district or Allen's district, you have a more manageable landmass area, and you know who your, the advantages I see, the only advantages I see, you've got smaller areas to campaign in, and you've got one designated
13 archers, so I can see where it is.
person per district, so they know exactly who to go to.
Well,
That would be an
and each
advantage, and I
district
guess,
has
I don't know
better.
about
What's
the
the,
others.
what's the, is it 8,100?
How many people do we, is there a way to show how many people we represent in the 12 and how many people we are representing in the
I
24?
think so.
This
It's
is
about-
Clearview area, this is
It's
Cambridge.
about 16, 17,000.
Yeah.
In the,
Yeah.
On the 12, about
And then
Let's go
about
look
eight.
at 22, and that way you'd only have, do 2 per school, we've got 11 school districts.
But then you gotta cut your commissioners.
You got any
You've
not
got 2
running?
empty ones right now, I should say.
Well, we don't know if we have anybody not running.
Okay.
This may determine for some people whether they run.
Let's stick
You're
with
not
12 and
running,
24 now.
Okay,
Let's
it
not,
was just a suggestion.
let's not do odd numbers.
I don't know, the school board with 11 is all.
We'll be doing this till February.
I mean, I'd love to have 22 districts and then, 2 commission districts makes up one school board district. That would be wonderful, but they even redid their numbering the wrong direction, so.
I've got one county I'm working with, they've got about 5 commissioners that have said they're not running again. So the mayor and the AOE started working on some maps with reducing the number of commissioners. And they presented it, and those 5 were the ones that threw a holy fit about it.
And they're not running again.
So I understand.
How dare you,
Right.
cut me out.
Just because I'm not running doesn't mean you need to eliminate my district.
I think I do like the aspect of having 8,000 people to represent versus 16,000.
Can we zoom out? I just want to see like the land sizes on it. I think,
So 13 is made up of Cambridge, basically Cambridge Farms and the Clearview area.
hang on, before we look at neighborhoods, let's just look at the whole thing.
So what's messed up in this one is your district, Scott, and who's else?
Mo and Terry.
Mo and Terry is over in Carolina are the same.
And then there's 2 districts with no commissioners at all, yeah.
Yeah.
It could,
You just kinda get goofy.
can you fix the first district? Can you pull?
Well, it
Where
also
does
goes-
Terry-
The only way to fix that is put somebody, 2 of them in,
Let's move the lines around again.
well, but there's no empty district with no commissioner over
Yeah,
there.
there is. 5?
No, it's got a commissioner. That's Ellen Driver, probably,
Yeah.
Steve's in there somewhere.
or Steve.
Yeah, but
Well,
look
it looks
up.
like Steve might be right in that.
Look
Who's
up
in
at
there?
Look, question, Greg, get back down.
Yeah, Steve's
Look up
down,
at the
I think.
top.
That's Driver.
I think he's in the purple
Look
6
up at
maybe.
the top.
Steve's in the purple.
Steve,
Now look.
I thought Steve was selling
This is
on
what
his
I'm
farm.
saying,
Didn't he
baby.
announce that?
Okay.
the other night?
See that one district where it's got Mitchellville up there?
Okay.
Where I guess that's you, Larry, right?
Yep, he's up there.
You could some way
Billy.
possibly change that around to where you could,
That's Billy in that one.
I mean, you could change that because Larry, you're not running, right?
That's true,
And Billy's not running.
that's true.
So you got an empty district.
Okay.
You've got those 2 empty districts that you could finagle around. You may could get Terry Wright into one of those districts.
Is that Terry over the left
Ter-
far
No, that's
west?
Terry right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would solve
You're farther to the
Lowe's
east.
and Terry's
Yeah.
problem.
We don't have a problem if you leave it at 24.
Oh,
Be 12.
okay, I don't know.
At 12, yeah.
Well,
I'm just trying to make it all.
So you're
Okay.
saying reduce the
So
district?
you're saying, okay,
Well, the argument is that you represent them.
where Billy Dominion is right up
8,000
there,
per
on that,
district,
in that red, yeah.
And he gives
He's not
everybody
running
a single
again.
person.
So,
And
How about-
Larry's not running in the
people don't
blue,
like change.
Neither one of those are gonna run. right?
So representation. Yeah, but I'll give you
I
an
like
example.
options.
But yeah,
Let's
well,
say
Terry's not
Me and Jerry, because you're not running.
even close to
Me and
Portland.
Jerry vote very differently on school stuff.
Yeah, yes, he's right
But we
there.
represent the same district.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
realistically,
could probably do that.
either you
Drop
get
2
represented or
districts,
not
make it
based on that.
22.
And you can't change.
No, I don't wanna do
the district
22.
vote there. So if
That'd
it's
be
one
too
person
much.
per district, the person has to vote the way that district.
Just leave it like it is.
Look at the northern part of the green.
There's no advantage to any of one.
That just makes
I
me
think we should do our due diligence and look at both, and then, we have
You got 2.
two options.
Yeah.
If the goal is, well, if the goal is
It's
to,
convoluted, in my opinion. You're just trying to force something to happen. versus
Well,
doing
Take them
it.
out, take
if the
that
goal
out.
is for
put it in
people to be
district.
represented better, one person per.
Which side of the
person per
road-
district makes
Wait a
sense.
second.
Does Mo,
That's how
Terry live
everything
in,
else
north
in
or
the
south?
country is.
You got north or south?
There's very, in fact, there aren't that many, counties in the state that still do
Here's
this,
what I'm telling you.
so.
Something like,
Counties in the state that don't have.
put that over.
Yeah, put that,
That
put
don't have
that
2
in that other
commissioners per
section
district?
over, yeah. Now,
I don't think there's that many.
I know that's
We,
what
he
you got
talked to us
whacked.
about it last time,
Now,
and he said no,
take-
because that's why he said, do y'all wanna look
take
at
part
it?
of
Because most districts have gotten away from 2 for the
this
same
out, put
district,
it over here,
or most
to
counties.
try to equalize it and just keep getting it to you.
The other counties don't have 2.
One is.
Most don't, that's what Wesley said, he
That's
goes.
what he said.
Why
He
not
said
pick up
most
some,
don't,
take it out of
they have
Portland?
one
Take it out of-
district,
take
one
it out of
commissioner per
5.
district. So
Yeah,
that way
Portland
you
area
have
there,
one
out of 2.
representative for the
Take one
district.
out of,
So-
See, 5's already low, we can.
yeah, but see, when you put part of 2 in it, it won't be, see what I mean?
Okay.
So
Where,
take,
where at here?
take,
5.
take any of that in 5, as long as you don't get the commissioner, and put it in 1, and then take part of 2 out and put it in 5.
Is 3
and that'll
low?
equalize. No.
3 is almost perfect.
Okay.
It's fine.
2 is high,
I
is
know.
5 low?
5 is a little low.
If you put that area in 5.
No, you're above state line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're the,
Let's
you're
down
here,
here
Terry's
into
here.
5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a lot of people down there.
Yeah,
On one of the 3 right
Or
here.
you have to get into Portland a little bit.
Well, I think if you just do this area down here, below this
There's not
creek.
enough people.
None of the people.
That's like 100 people, like 200 people.
Well, there's 133 right here, so it's like 200 people.
Oh, okay.
Well, just let him chop on it a little bit and see what it looks
So
like.
that's going to 5.
Yeah, that's 1.5. Take a little bit more.
About your voting places.
That gets 5 to almost 0,
That-
and
That's actually set.
2 is at
And he
7.
was
Yeah, but you gotta take,
voting where
you gotta take some of 5
still
out.
wanna try to
Plus
keep
that
it.
plan.
Yeah.
But remember, she also did
The
that.
D part is not city limits.
Not city limits, yeah.
Which-
And
I mean, for mine, people aren't driving all the way out to Cotton down to vote. They're going, because I mean,
there-
there's always people
5,
in line at 7 that are
1.6,
barely
and 2
making
is
it in.
6.9.
Sure.
Well, now take, yeah, that's fine. Now take some of 5 out over where 1 is, to put it back in there.
Over here?
Yes, somewhere over there,
We need to go out a little bit, see where that
Give
goes.
them
lines
more.
are.
and give it to 1 to help it. And you might wanna go around the city of Westmoreland. I don't
Yeah,
know,
right around here.
Like, right in here.
Wherever, yeah.
So, we're taking.
Austin Peay Highway.
That's all right.
So we're, oh, yeah, yeah.
There you
It
go.
all starts to look the same after a while, doesn't it?
You got about 200 right here too, 194.
Would that, does that help you?
Yeah, we're getting there. So that gets 1 to -10, 1 needs
You still need some more out of 5 to go to 1.
So now, are we gonna get 5 some from somewhere?
Yeah, you're gonna still keep chopping away at, I guess, 2.
Around through here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why would you not clean that up to the left?
Where, what?
See where the one goes way over?
Where are you talking about?
Oh, so you're saying chop this up?
Oh, yeah, that makes,
Oh, up here?
Over the top.
Yeah.
Put that in, give that
Give that
to
to
2, so it
2.
doesn't make any sense for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's true.
Give that to 2.
there saved you some gas money.
You don't wanna be a landbearer?
I don't have nothing against any of the areas, but it, you know, when it's.
It does
When
clean
you're
it up.
trying, when you're trying to represent it and drive it.
You gotta drive through 3.
Well, it's gotta be, it's gotta make sense to, for representation.
Yeah.
So like right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That looks good.
So
Now,
what do we have to adjust now?
So 2 is over, 5 is under.
right, but you can solve that. That's
Can you solve
gonna
it?
be easy
No,
because
don't
you
go
can
over
give,
this
it-
one.
you can give 2 to 5, Wesley. Just chop out some of that and give it back to 5.
What's not in the city is
Yeah.
That's, yeah, I know,
What we
that's
did
why
here
I'm
is you
asking,
get
'cause I
back
can't see
to
that.
2.
The city? Or?
No, like,
No, but 5 is too much, too
what
big.
we put in 5 at the start, just give back to 2.
No, 5 has to enlarge.
Five's gotta get bigger.
Oh, I see, okay. Never
So
mind, I'm sorry.
chop this part out right in here and give this, see if that'll.
South of where Terry
And then
lives.
you don't chop the city in 2.
Well, if 5 needs to grow, can it grow from the south somewhere to try to pull Scott and Caroline into their own districts?
Well, we're just
Or
trying to
no?
get them kinda
Okay.
equalized.
It's
I don't-
impossible.
Okay.
I don't think you can.
We can
It's not
try
gonna-
I
that.
think
That's
Terry,
fine.
I think
I
Terry is south, I mean, Terry's was pretty easy to
Yeah,
fix.
it'd be like if I was running again, me and Jerry, there's no way you could fix
Yeah,
all
just
it.
chop some.
Gotcha.
of
12,
I mean,
12
just-
stones and Massacre Farms are too
Put that in
densely,
5.
you gotta.
Yeah.
Can't do that one, because that's where Terry lives.
Yeah, you got Terry there in that little bitty.
That right there.
Is that got her? Or him?
Does he live on the north or the south side of the highway?
South.
No, he's on.
Yeah, he's on the south, that's what I
All
thought.
right, forget about that.
I'm like Les said, I think you probably grab it from the south easier, just leave that there.
There you go, there you go. You can take those and put it back.
That looks weird though.
That, yeah, that looks.
Drive it
weird.
from this,
Well, let's see what it does though.
That ain't gonna work.
It's gonna make,
That's where you
5
go.
negative
That's
9.
raising forward and reckoning.
I just leave
Mo
that.
was
Let's
saying that's
grab
where
it from
Terry
the-
grew up too. You need to leave those.
yeah,
spots
leave that
out.
there. I'd pull
Alright.
it from the other end.
Yeah, we'll pull it from Portland then.
No, go
No,
down.
no, no.
No,
Go
go
to
down.
South end.
Go to the south end. We know there's enough growth in.
Yeah, but see, number 2 is still way over, Scott. It's 10.83, so you gotta cut some
I
of it
understand,
out.
but I'm saying like, oh, I see what you're saying, you got it.
You gotta take some of it out anyway.
I got
Give
you.
some to the 3.
I was gonna say, what about 3 right there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could give some to 3. It's
Looks
right
like
on
3
there.
needs a little.
Yeah, you could take some of that city
Some of that
out.
city
there.
Portland stuff.
So maybe some 2 going to 3.
What commissioner currently lives in 3?
Graves and Driver.
No, this up here.
No, no,
That
no.
would
Going
be
to
up
new
here.
3.
That is
That's
Larry
Larry.
and.
That's Larry.
So,
Okay, so right in here.
Yeah.
tomorrow?
yeah, that's good.
help? They better tomorrow?
Because that-
I just won't read it. Back there in the morning.
3.9 and 7, so they need a little bit more.
That's a good
Yeah,
start, though.
any of
Yeah.
that.
How about that lower bottom part down there?
Yeah, clean that up.
You're splitting the city of Westmoreland?
No, that's
No,
Portland.
this is
Portland.
And it's already split.
It's
We're just
already
trying to
split.
give, we're just trying to change the line.
They pretty much
No,
want to
it's
split
not
down.
splitting the other curve,
So
right?
now-
That's all.
Portland
is.
I drive through
No, Portland
2
splits
different
though.
places.
Yeah, you come really close.
Yeah.
You catch the top part of
I
Portland,
actually
north summer
have
Portland, don't you?
some of it
Right
too.
now.
What'd that do?
Because I come all the way up
Portland's like
109.
And on the-
downtown
Get
property.
better.
Yeah.
On the 12,
I
Moby
think it's
New
like-
12, would you
It's
catch
almost like Gallatin, there's
How much
somewhere
are
that
they?
actually cover Portland.
South.
south?
Well, it
No,
should
it's
go.
not.
I understand the
3.7.
city.
I mean, that could work if our lowest is like mid
Down the
3s.
city.
What about going north of that?
That
What do you
looks like it's
have?
splitting.
Up here.
No, no,
Central
down between those two.
Yeah.
Sean Utley lived on
split.
Cook Road,
Zoomed in here.
and they kept Sean Utley in the second
It's
district,
kind of a wonky block.
if you remember.
Yep, which makes sense, I mean, same thing that we're trying to do. is
Yeah.
keep-
But then I would go,
Yeah, you could do
I
that.
would go around, and then I would go.
But that puts part
Yeah.
of Portland in the.
Yeah, it's kind of like mine, Jerry, you can see where, you can see where Mr. Stone wanted,
That.
you know, there were a few
Yeah,
little
oh, yeah.
places.
Clean that up.
Yeah, I was here,
Well, for precinct purposes, it's really tough when you go across city lines.
Yeah.
What are those?
Hey, if that's the case, Hendersonville's been tough for a long,
Oh,
long
it
time.
is.
I mean, it's just,
More balance.
I'm just trying to get it balanced out. I'm not saying you're gonna go with that,
So
but you gotta put them somewhere.
That little blue,
So you're saying right here.
the Gaza Strip down there, needs-
Yeah, put
what is
that little zero
It
strip
looks
back
like,
into
it
five.
looks like Gaza Strip in Israel.
Yeah, that little
Oh, that's better.
zero in the blue.
We're like
Well-
a point and a half away, you could.
Yeah, that's
Our
real good.
district's got all the city limits of Portland in it now. And,
Yours and Billy's.
yeah, and that's basically, well, I don't know about that, they go to Robertson County, so I ain't got.
That little
Well, I was gonna say that.
narrow
Portland's
strip,
kind of
what
a
is
zero.
that attached to? Is that attached to something else?
Down
Portland and
below.
White House are
Oh,
Yeah.
different
put
just
that
because
behind.
you're so close to the state line,
Yeah.
county line, and
Yeah.
kind of,
Well,
because what's called White House is actually cotton.
Yeah.
Like the growth in White House is cotton,
yeah.
because the growth in White House
Two's
proper is
a
in
little
Robertson
low
County.
now.
Well, I was gonna say, that's what's funny is people
How
talk
about
about
forward
White House,
that,
but it's not
that-
Summit
that-
County.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at there are probably as many
Two
kids
is
at White House High
low,
School with a Cottontown address as there are with
But
White House.
one is, a
There's no
little
way to clean
shy,
that up
so
though, is
take
there?
some
There's
of
no way to
two
really
and
clean
put
that
back
up.
into one, and you got.
That's a-
Some of
Unless you went back to the old
Well,
days
the
when we
other way around.
split with Robertson
Yeah.
County
Yeah.
and the high school
So you
together.
need a little bit more than two.
So they tried to get them to move over to the interstate, they
Take,
couldn't.
five.
Oh,
Those numbers are good now,
Three,
Wesley.
Yeah, three, take part of three, and put it in two.
Hey, Wesley, you've got it down to
Right
good
there.
as
Now
far
we're-
as the
He needs-
deviation, isn't it?
Yeah, he
1.64
needs,
over.
he needs
Yeah.
a little into three.
Well, and the
into
nice
two.
thing is when you get to a little bit of deviation on this, it's not 2,000 or 3,000 people,
Take it
4,000
right
people.
there.
It's
It's
one.
easy to
Yeah,
fix.
it's a lot easier because it's only 8,000 for the
Right.
block instead of 17.
Take a little bit more.
Yeah, you take one little block and
Mhm.
you're fixing
There you
any
go.
deviation issues.
That help us?
Yeah, that's got you pretty close.
All right, what we got now? You got it
Oh, that's
solved there,
great.
and you got everybody in their district.
except Scott and,
Well, look, we're gonna work on that.
I'm just telling you.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. No. You can't
Yeah.
do it.
Well, we'll look at it just a
okay,
second.
so we have a district, number 13 has no incumbent in it.
Yeah. Well, you've got several now that don't have any.
But you also just with
You have to break them
one or
up
two
three
people we
federal
know.
laws to make
Yeah,
that.
there's one or two people not running, so there's not an incumbent in it anyway.
Well, but no incumbent lives in that
currently
Yeah.
lives
You
there.
really, have you looked at it? But
Yeah.
you haven't looked at the blocks, have you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to look at the blocks to look at it.
Yeah.
There's too many people in 12 Stones. You'd have to do some weird things to break up an real estate. And I still think you would wind up with either,
Yeah, it's impossible with that triangle of you, Caroline, and Jeremy.
with Jeremy and Caroline
Yeah.
being so close, there's too dense a population in here. You're either gonna push Caroline in with Jeremy, me in with you know, it's like, to me, this
Well,
district,
show me again.
Is there a
where-
commissioner in 18? Oh, yep, there is.
this district looks cleaner to me.
Where are you at, Scott?
I'm right here.
Where is Caroline?
She's right there. Jeremy's right there.
Okay.
Jeremy's barely in his.
Mm-hmm.
We could put Jeremy go in with you and Caroline and Jeremy, three of you, and you can fight it out. Or who's gonna be the
That
one
would kind
person?
of violate what we said we were trying to do.
That's
But I'm saying,
contrary.
if you redraw a map, and this is the only conflict you have, then that's livable.
Move it up a little bit, Wesley. What's in 19? You know, move the map up.
That's
You start getting down to Shelley, Merrill.
Shelley and Merrill.
But nobody lives in.
Oh, does 21,
19.
or what's the yellow? Does it have two people?
Yeah, it's me and Jerry though.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. But that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, they are close.
There's no way, there's some that you just can't separate. Is what it is.
No, a lot of them won't have a commissioner.
23?
But there's no
22 doesn't have
conflict.
one?
Mm-mm.
That's like Nannyberry, that area.
Mm-hmm. That literally stops about 3/4 of the way up the peninsula.
Because the two down there on 21, one is not going to run for commissioner,
Yep,
and so it doesn't make any difference.
Who are the 2 and 21?
Me and Jerry.
Okay. I
Can
didn't realize you had that one.
Wesley, looking at that,
Mhm.
in 18, could we reconfigure part of 19 to 22 and 18?
I just think
Chop it out and get maybe Scott out of it? or-
Part of 23 and with 22.
I'm just telling you, I promise you, you can't do it.
I mean, we could,
I mean, we could try.
I could maybe play around with it. I don't know if we wanna try right
Just
now.
let him play with it.
Okay.
Play with it and see if you
Okay.
can configure it, because look,
One of
that's
these two, get them into
Yes.
19.
I'm just like, let me just say this,
Or-
like, can you zone out?
You got somebody in
Space out a
19
little
though.
bit, like.
Yeah, you have somebody in 19.
And then I have to pull 22 over here.
I just think
No, you
like.
can't, no, you don't do
If
that.
you, if you,
comes
zoom-
up with
like,
Wesley.
can you zoom out, can you zoom out a
Like-
little bit, Wesley? Like, I just think like these,
Again, people are saying Wesley.
these maps catch neighborhoods better. Like
Right.
you've got like 12 Stones, Mansker Farms, you know, a little bit. Then you've got kind of like Shackley, part of Shackley, Millersville. These districts look better. You've got, you know, the top part of, like Mr. Hyde had pointed out that like, what was it, Shelley? Like this part ran all the way down before.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Hyde asked for us to clean up
What
that
they-
one part where you had
Yeah,
one
the-
part.
and-
I'll say for Hendersonville, it makes a lot.
I did 24 districts, and I talked to him.
No, I know, but he said on the 12, there was one
Yeah.
part, and I think it was like something similar. There was one little,
That structure, the left
there was like a little
yeah.
shoestring that ran down.
Yeah, right there towards the end.
Left of the red line there at 20, yeah.
Yeah, this was the part that he didn't like on the 12.
If you do, I'll say this, if you do 24, Gallatin, Hendersonville are cleaned up a whole lot more than what it was.
Yeah.
I like it dirty, baby. 12.
I'm with you, man. Better representation, 2 per district.
Yeah.
More balanced voice.
I've always liked 1 per district myself, but.
Baker, do you want
Have
to?
we ever had one per district?
No, I
Most
like
of-
the idea of 1 per district.
That was the thing that came up, because most of
You know
the
what I
state
think we
does it
did?
that way.
I'm sure it was on city council, yeah.
I think Wesley's eyes have got to be exhausted. He's like an air traffic controller.
Well, we got a lot done tonight.
We did.
Yeah.
I think we print these out, and then when we get them, we'll send them out to everybody tomorrow and just start looking at it.
I didn't know we had nothing we needed to fix.
That's just my suggestion.
Two per district.
Yeah. Baker, we okay?
50
What's
years.
that?
We okay doing that? These two maps and.
Yeah, this map also.
Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we're gonna need to meet again, because we've got school board to deal with, even if we solve this problem. We have school board.
Well,
Yeah, man.
I want to go.
Yeah,
Can
No.
you have 12 school board districts?
they can have as few as 3 or as many as 11.
Yeah.
Because
That's the state,
I didn't
that's the
know
state
that
law.
until-
And the commission can
Isn't
be
it weird that you would
9
say
to 25.
you can have up to
They're big on
25
the odd
commission
numbers.
districts, but only 11 schools?
Yeah.
Okay, when do we wanna have our next meeting?
We have a meeting scheduled
Which if
Wednesday,
y'all
the
got down to
29th.
22.
Yeah, you've got a meeting scheduled.
We do, on the 29th.
How about the 29th?
Yeah,
Okay, 29th.
That sounds a good one.
Next Wednesday.
Yes.
All right,
I've got
motion
it
to
all.
adjourn.
Okay.
I've got all the